we'll be discussing more on Kriya Yoga. So as you know that among different yogas, there is this one yoga from the different branches called Kriya Yoga. So Neha ji, thank you so much. I also want to thank you, the Arogyam community, which is doing a wonderful work for both mental and physical health. And welcome all. My name is Vaibhav Singh Om, and I will try to take you on like a beautiful journey of Kriya Yoga with me. So if you have any questions in between, also you can ask. We will be having this session more as an interactive rather than just me speaking. If you have any doubt, we can also take upon in between. So yeah, let's start. So as we all know that human birth is very rare to get, and it is said rare by Shankaracharya because with human body you can attain lot of you know higher things, or you can go on a higher realms, which is not possible with any other body but only human body. So that's why it is also known as a most intricate machine as well. And Bharatvarsh is the blessed land where all the Shastras and all the knowledge that we are seeing and learning through Swadhyay these days are actually emerged from this blessed land. And many sages like Sage Vasishtha, Vishwamitra, and other numerous sages, they have taken a birth in this beautiful land. Himalayan range in the north, and talking about different holy rivers where the sages have left their sadhana, the tapasya, which they have done. So it can be felt, I mean, throughout the whole region wherever they have meditated. So yoga. So yoga, we have these days, we have in a mind that yoga is only confined to the physical stretches and some kind of poses or pranayama. But yoga is very vast, and it also has a different branches. As we know and we have read that we have karma, bhakti, Gyan, and Yoga. So mostly these days, people are talking about the last one, which is Yoga Marg, whereas Karma Marg, Bhakti Marg, and Gyan Marg are also part of the yoga. If we get a time later on, we can discuss more on Karma, Bhakti, and Yoga, but today I'll be focusing on the Yoga Marg. So let me try to define yoga as in a short and so yoga is to bind, to join, or to focus the channel one's attention inwards. So to bind and to join. So what do we mean by to bind and to join? Like join with whom? So the philosophy of yoga says that the soul body and the physical body are two different things. And when they merge with each other, that is when we say that we are joining with our true self, which is beyond five senses. So five senses is the body, and the soul, which is beyond five senses. So the union of both the body is known as the yoga. So it is also union of our will and the God's will. So let's talk about how yoga will impact our mind. So with yoga, and with yoga, I'm talking more upon the Kriya Yoga and also different yogas called Ashtanga Yoga or Patanjali Yoga, or you can say Kundalini Yoga, any yoga which comes under the branch will have all these effects in our mind, which is first, we get free from our desires. Second, the most important thing what we can see is we start resting within ourselves. And the third is uh, absorbed in the spirit. So as we were saying that the spirit which lives inside this body, we get united with that spirit, and we we rest with our spirit, and we become a witness actually. So the first point, free from desires. Desires are actually the root cause of taking a human body or any birth. So if we get free, I mean, the philosophy says that if we get free from our desires, then one day we will stop taking birth and we will get free from the cycle of birth and rebirth. So that's what yoga does. In yoga, mostly people are saying about asanas, pranayams, and then comes meditation. And in meditation, we mostly ask people to concentrate the mind on one thing. But how we can concentrate the mind? The question is, uh, because every human being are different and they have their own, I mean, they can choose their path which suits them most better, in a better way. I can't say that Kriya Yoga is for all, or Bhakti Marg is for all. It's like we have to understand within ourselves that how our personality is, and we have to actually read about all those things. And the soul which directs us in a particular direction is our mark. So always ask your soul that what is the best mark for you. Am I someone who can concentrate on a single object? Because most of the time in meditation, you will hear that a person is asking you to concentrate on one particular object. The object can be your breath, it can be your Ishta Devta, is like your deity, it can be your mantra, or it can be any body part of, I mean, of the body. But the question is, am I the person who can concentrate on one single object for long? If not, then Kriya Yoga is the path for you. And I will explain more on how Kriya Yoga is different from concentrating on just single object. So first we'll learn on how to concentrate. I mean, what things are needed most to concentrate the mind. First, the concentration takes place automatically when we are very relaxed. When our body and mind are absolutely relaxed, the concentration just comes very naturally. You don't have to force yourself to concentrate on something. And the last one is very important, but I can't say that it is the most. But yes, it plays a very important role where the environment, I'm saying, a clean, suitable environment is also needed for a proper concentration of the mind. In today's era, we can see that the most searched, I was researching something and I was also asking the search engine that what is the most searched word these days, I mean today, or like in today's era. So it was coming as uh, how to get rid of stress, spirituality, meditation, all these things were coming up, and it showing somewhere that people are stressed or they are leading a life which is not giving them happiness, and that's why they are in search of something which can give them a peace of mind. So most people actually, they don't know how to relax because it's not in our school course these days. In earlier times, when there was a system of Gurukul, where sages, a person was, sent to a particular place. It was kind of a boarding school of what we can say of today, but a very different boarding school from today's world. It was actually taken place in a forest, and overall knowledge was provided rather than just the academic, focused on academics. And overall also included meditation, relaxation, and all those things. So, which is missing these days. That's why most people are very anxious and not in a state where they feel relaxed. So as I said, the concentration emerge naturally when we are absolutely relaxed from body and mind. And this is where the Kriya Yoga comes. So it was designed, the Kriya Yoga was actually designed focusing how to first relax the body and the mind. And it was not, I mean, focusing on how you will enhance your concentration level or how you will enhance your bhakti or how you can, activate your chakras. No, the Kriya Yoga was focusing, I mean, the rishis and the sages, because the history of Kriya Yoga is around 2000 years back when Patanjali was collaborating all the knowledge of Ashtanga Yoga and putting into a one file. And that's how we know as a Patanjali Yoga Sutra, which is there in front of us today. So during that time, the Kriya Yoga was also, I mean, developing, seeing the person's ability of how he can enhance his his state of relaxation actually. So mostly we see people meditating for long. Even I have done few courses called, you must have heard about Vipassana and other courses which demands, I mean, more than 10 to 12 hours of meditation every day. So during that whole period, I was actually asking myself, am I actually meditating or just trying to, I mean, trying to meditate, to be very honest. So if someone is meditating in today's world for, I say, like more than 1 hour, I would say it is not necessary if you are living in a household life or you want to actually indulge in, uh, you know, the grihastha. In Sanskrit, there is this word called grihastha marg. So if you are in a grihastha, that is like in a householder life, you don't need or you don't have there's no necessity of meditating for more than 1 hour, because in those 1 hour also our mind will be focused for hardly 1 minute or 2 minutes, you can say. So Kriya Yoga is the way for a person who can't focus on or who have a trouble in focusing the mind on an object for a longer period of time. And why we can't focus? Because mostly we are not relaxed. Mostly we are from the body level also and from the mental state also. So doing Kriya Yoga means first extracting the cause which is not helping us to focus, which is like our stress. So with doing Kriya Yoga, first thing you would gain is you will feel like you're stress free. So the Kriya Yoga actually allows the consciousness to be liberated also, enabling it to flow through a designated internal movement. And with designated internal movement means you are not asked in Kriya Yoga, you will be not asked to focus on one single object, but there will be a design, a pattern, which is in the knowledge of Kriya Yoga text, that you have to keep shifting your focus on different designated points, which will be, which will be taught in Kriya Yoga. If someone learns that, that you start moving your focus on different body parts rather than just focusing on one single object or one single part. So it actually focuses more on awareness than concentration. And by awareness, what do I mean by awareness? Is total attention of whatever is happening. Even if I am like uh, in a zone where I am getting random thoughts. So I'm not asking my mind that, okay, this is not good. Don't think about all those thoughts, but rather just be witness of that situation. Just being witness that, okay, today is not a day where I can focus and the thoughts are coming. It's just showering, or it's just like, randomly coming in my brain. And let me not, because if we give a signal to our brain that no, this is not right, which most of us do, like in meditation, that I want to focus on one object, why these thoughts are coming, and in that hustle we actually end up getting more tensed. So sometimes it happens that meditation, after a meditation session, you are not relaxed but you're more tensed because you are fighting with your mind. And this is the mistake where we do that. We fight from our mind, and we are fighting from our mind because we think that this mind is me and this is in my control. But actually, you have to think that this mind and this body is not your, I mean, this is not you. This is something else that you just have to watch, that what it is doing, because you have to get into that level where you can just be the witness of all the activities that is happening in the life. But it will only come after a certain practices, and it will only come after a certain time when you are very dedicated towards those practices. And one of those practices is Kriya Yoga. And there, I am not saying only the Kriya Yoga, but there are different practices which can lead you towards this state where you will be just the witness. So to do Kriya Yoga, what do we require first? First, we require a body control on, I mean, we have to be very fit. If we are not fit, so in Kriya Yoga, first we are taught how to be physically fit, because later on it will demand some mudras, some asanas, that is must, because that is a part of the whole system that we have to do. And until unless we are able to do those asanas, uh, we will be not fulfilling actually the true path of Kriya Yoga. So that's why body control and sound health is very much necessary. Proficiency in mudras and bandh. I'm not sure if you are aware of bandh. So in Ashtang Yoga, this is the part where asan, pranayam. After asanas, there is this pranayam. And under the branch of pranayam, there are bandh. Bandh is like locking the different points of the body. So there are majorly three bandhas which are commonly practiced. One is Jalandhar bandh, one is Udyan bandh, and one is Mool bandh. So you have to be, in a position where you can do those bandhas. And trust me, doing pranayam and bandha are very difficult. It's more advanced than doing just the asanas. Asanas are, I would say, easier than doing pranayam. Because in pranayam, we are required to have a certain control on our incoming and outgoing breath. And different asanas require different timings of how long you have to inhale and how long you have to exhale. And for that, you have to have a very powerful lungs. So those will develop through time, through the practice, but it is necessary that first we work on our sound health and proficiencies, bandha and mudra, and then jump into Kriya Yoga. So the third is development of breath consciousness, which comes through pranayam, and understanding the location of psychic centers, which I'm going to tell you more about it. So how we will have a body control and a sound health through asanas, and proficiency in mudras and bandh through pranayam. And development of the breath consciousness in Kriya Yoga, we do some asanas, and in those asanas only we go into, you can say, so-called meditation, or revolving your consciousness throughout the different points of the body, which is getting stretched. So for example, in this mudra here, a person is not only merely just doing the asanas, just to, complete the asana, but in the same time, he's focusing on the three important chakras of the body. You can say one is Agya, Vishuddhi, and Mooladhara in this case. And at the same time, he's also aware on his breathing pattern. So he is not focused on just one single object here, you can say, but he is rather moving his consciousness to one point to another. So the nature of our mind, or you can say the consciousness, is moving. That's why you will be not in a situation anytime where you are just thoughtless, because there are random thoughts which are moving, like the clouds are moving in the sky. That's how the thoughts are also moving in your mind. So it is the natural system what God has made it. So Kriya Yoga here asks you not to break that natural system and keep it moving, but Kriya Yoga gives you a direction where to move it and not to put it at one point. So here in this case, it's moving from one chakra to another and also being aware on his breathing pattern, at the same time being aware of the asanas that the person is doing. So there are n numbers of psychic centers in our body. There are actually said that more than 80,000 chakras in our body, but out of those, the most important are first seven. It starts from Mooladhara, the base. The second is Swadhisthana, the navel chakra called also Manipur, the heart chakra called Agya, and Vishuddhi, and so forth, like the Sahasrara at the top. So there are, these are very important centers of the body where the important nadis, they crisscross each other. So automatically, if I'll ask you that focus on this chakra, it's very hard to first of all locate. And if we also locate through our, because we will be locating through our imagination, because here in this picture, I have shown you that, okay, these chakras are situated at these particular point. Now, what will you do? You will just start imagining it. But in Kriya Yoga, nothing is imagination. Everything is very scientific. So there are different asanas in Kriya Yoga where you start stretching a body in such a way that you will feel a stretch on these particular points of the body, like Muladhara, Vishuddhi, the navel. There are different asanas where you will start feeling a stretch in those particular points, and automatically your consciousness or your mind will go on that point. So just telling about myself, where I learned Kriya Yoga is I went into a quest in Himalayas, and this is where I was living actually for first 6 months. And there, because Kriya Yoga is something which is not given to a person openly. It was actually a very secretive knowledge. Why secretive? Because a person can also misuse the whole knowledge. Because after doing Kriya Yoga, you will attain, I mean, immense physical and mental power in your body. And it is given to a person who is actually, who will take this power in a right direction and not misuse it. So I thought that, okay, let's join some school where I can learn Kriya Yoga. But there wasn't any school which would taught me Kriya Yoga because I was more interested in Kriya Yoga. So I started searching for a very genuine person. And I couldn't find a better place than India, and particularly the Himalayan regions of India. So I started my quest, and finally I got someone near Uttarkashi, and he was a person living in an absolute wilderness and in a cave. And I got very lucky to learn from him. And he never allowed me, the sage never allowed me to take the photograph. But these are the photographs that I have taken. These are not the Google images. And this is a place where Ganga River emerges. So it is beyond Gangotri, this whole region. And I stayed in this place for around 6 months, learning Kriya Yoga from the sage. And then he asked me to, because he was focused on his sadhana so much that he would someday also not even feel like talking. So after 6 months, he just asked me to leave because he said, I have given you all whatever I had, and now it is your time to practice. And that's how I started practicing Kriya Yoga. And I actually felt a lot of difference in my mental and physical state after doing the yoga. I'm still doing it. So I'm also a seeker like you all. And I'm not sure whether even I would say you are a seeker. Maybe you are more evolved. You all are more evolved than me. But I am on a very basic level. You can say I'm still a seeker. I'm still finding the journey very beautiful and exploring the journey within. So then I stayed for another 3 months because that person, that sage, I just used to call him Swamiji because he never revealed his name. And he gave me a place. This is that place where he asked me to live for 3 months. in absolute wilderness and just practice Kriya Yoga. And this was the most beautiful, you can say, one of the most beautiful period of my entire life journey till date, where this is the river, you can see the Ganga is flowing and the Himalayan peaks all around, and practicing Kriya Yoga was absolutely, you can say, a magical part of my life. And this was the hut, a small hut provided to me. And the trees you are seeing around is all apple tree and the devdar tree. So in the free time, whenever I used to feel hungry, I used to just pluck the apples and eat it. And with the devdar tree, so the devdar trees are very the wood of the tree is very, you can say, religious in Hindu culture, because they do yagna from these trees. So different yogis have now started teaching on Kriya Yoga. One lineage comes from Mahavatar Babaji. You must have all heard about Mahavatar Babaji or Paramhansa Yogananda. So there is the different lineage that now starts. So Mahavatar Babaji and Paramhansa Yogananda, they are one lineage. And another started from the yogi called Shivananda Saraswati. So this is image of Swami Shivananda Saraswati of Rishikesh. And there were many famous disciples that evolved under his guidance. One was Chinmayanand Saraswati, Satyanand Saraswati, Vishnu Devanand Saraswati. So all these famous personalities were disciples of Swami Shivananda. And Swami Shivananda also gave a knowledge of Kriya Yoga to Swami Satyanand and Swami Chinmayanand. And the sage, the rishi, who was actually married, who I met in that wilderness, was coming under a lineage of Swami Shivanand Saraswati. So this is me, and this is a Bhojpatra tree. This is a tree on which all the Vedas and all the Purans were written. So you must have heard about a natural page called Bhojpatra. So this is that tree on which all those beautiful scriptures were written. So this is yoga. The beauty of yoga is it unites us. It unites us with something which is in most of our lifetime we are unaware of, which is called Paramatma. We are all Jivatmas. We are all in a body and physical realm. I mean, we are living in mostly physical realm. But there is something which is beyond the physical realm, which we have given different names. And one name is Paramatma. So we finally get immersed in that Paramatma. And we, with the path of yoga, we realize that that Paramatma was not outside or in any temple or in any rituals, but it was constantly living in this beautiful body within me. So that is how the yoga actually helps us to go within inside and not outside to find that Paramatma. So I would like to now end my slide session, but I would be very happy to have some question and answer session with you all if you have any questions regarding Kriya Yoga.
Salon, thank you. That was very useful. I just, so from what I understand, what you just said, that Kriya Yoga is a mixture of everything. It's exercises, asanas, breathing, the pranayams.
Pranayams, yes.
And then relaxation. Is that right?
Yeah.
Bandhan, mudras, and relaxation, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, so I do Baba Ramdev's yoga. Okay. So some of these are included in there, obviously. So when I do my Kapalbhati or Bhastrika, I use the mudras.
Okay.
And then after the Bhastrika, we do the Bandh, the Udyan Bandh, Mula Bula Bandh, and what is it? The Jalandhar Bandh.
Jalandhar Bandh, yes.
Yeah, so I do that. So that's a Kriya. And then that means it's a mixture of things I do in there. Do you know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
it's not a specific set of things that just constitutes Kriya Yoga then, yeah? Is that correct?
Let me try to explain you through a whiteboard.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that would be useful because I do this and they say this is a Kriya. And I was thinking, why is this not a pranayam or, asana? They say this is a Kriya.
So,
yeah, same as Agnisar. You see, Agnisar is a Kriya, they say.
Agnisar is also a Kriya, but it is a part of pranayam.
Yeah.
It is. So I will tell you what Kriya is. Can you see my whiteboard?
Yes, thank you.
So Kriya is a Sanskrit word which means action or movement. Okay. So there is one action in a form of asana, you are saying, then pranayama, then bandha, and then concentration on the chakras of the different bodies. So there is a set pattern of what asana will come after what. And with that asana, what pranayam you have to practice. And after that whole process, which bandha you have to do. So there is this beautiful sequence. And if you don't follow that sequence, it will not come under a knowledge of Kriya Yoga, but rather it will come under just yoga. You are doing yoga of just asana, pranayam, bandh of your own, of your own sequence. Whatever you feel like first, you do it. But in Kriya Yoga, it is different. It is like there is this set pattern which you have to do repeatedly in the same manner every day. You can't break that whole sequence. So, am I able to answer what you were saying?
Yeah, okay, that's useful. It would be useful at some stage to know that pattern. I
Yes.
think, what I was going to ask you, when we do the bandhas, yeah, because I've come across two different types. One where you do start from the Mooladhara, work up to the stomach one, and then the chin one. And the other one, it does the reverse way around. And I just wonder what is the difference? There must be a different impact or effect on the body in the sequence of these, and how do you release them?
Yes, very nice question. So, bandhas, I'm quite amazed that you are already, are you doing bandhas under some guidance or doing just by your own knowledge?
No, Baba Ramdev's yoga. I trained to be a yoga teacher.
Okay.
So they told us how to do the three bandhas, but then now when you look at other gurus and everything, and I noticed the sequence in which they do it is sometimes different. And I was just curious why and what is the impact.
So see, in bandha, if you're doing bandha, that means you are proficient enough to hold your breath for longer period of time. Because in bandha, we actually are in kumbhak state. Kumbhak is no breathing at all, no rechak, no purak. So when you are doing bandha, there is a beautiful system in Kriya Yoga which says that with bandhas, what all you have, how you have to move your consciousness throughout a particular system of the body. So we are just doing bandhas will not give us the effect of, it will just give you a beautiful physical body maybe, but internally it would not change anything because you have to take your consciousness into a level where bandhas is actually what bandhas are actually designed for, and that is a hidden knowledge which one gets in Kriya Yoga actually.
So what you're saying is the order in which these bandhas are done and released
Yes.
is linked to consciousness.
Yes, absolutely linked
How
to
we are moving it. So yeah, I would be interested in that part, in the future sessions, because I do one sequence with Baba Ramdev and I've learned another sequence from somewhere else, which is different.
right.
So I just wonder really, yeah.
I'm not actually sure about the Kriya Yoga of Baba Ramdev because this is the first time I'm listening from you that Baba Ramdev also gives Kriya Yoga's knowledge. But
No, we only do these bandhas after the what is it, Kapalbhati, to lock the energies.
yeah,
It is there to lock the energies, and we do the three. So we start with the Mool Bandh, then the stomach one, Udyan Bandh, and then Jalandhar Bandh. And then
yes,
when we release them, we release with Jalandhar Bandh, Udyan, what is it, Udyan Bandh, and the Mool Bandh.
yes.
And if,
So
yeah,
So in Kriya Yoga, it is actually not done directly, but in a particular sequence. And that sequence is only learned through a yogi or a guru. So if you're not doing all those bandhas and kriyas, so kriya is like the combination of everything. And the one may practice asan, pranayam, bandhas whole life, but is possible not to attain the final goal of what yoga is built for, because a sequence plays a very important role here. So kriya means only sequence, action or a movement, and this is why it people say it is secret. It's only secret because they are not revealing that sequence. Once you know the sequence, everything will be set for you, and you will see the results happening in the body. So kriya yoga is all about that sequence only, that what will come after what.
okay. So hopefully you will cover that in the future sessions.
Yeah, sure, like I would love to do that.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Yeah, there are some questions in the chat itself. If you scroll up, you will see them.
Sure. Yes, Kriya Yoga must be received from a Kriya Yoga master. That is absolutely true. So that's why I was looking for a master. And that once you have received that knowledge, it's in the master's hand to give you a permission to pass it on or not. So my master told me that I can pass it on to someone who is a genuine seeker. So that's the short answer of that question. Kriya Yoga must be received from Kriya Yoga master. Okay. Your thoughts on can we meditate while just sitting on bed? You mentioned clean environment. Thanks. I would personally not suggest to meditate on bed because bed is a place where we sleep, and we have three tattvas. One is Rajas, Sattva, and Tamas. And these three are very important. Nothing is good or bad. People say only Sattva is good and Tamas is bad. No, Tamas is also very important because sleep is Tamas. Okay. So in my experiences also, and from the sages also, I have learned that if you meditate on a place which is denoted for tamas, which is sleep, you will fall asleep while meditating. So mostly if you start meditating on the bed, you will end up sleeping only and you will lose your consciousness. So I would not suggest to sit on a bed, but if someone has a problem sitting on the floor, I would suggest them sit on a chair, but away from the bed, somewhere, which is the open area.
But what about, sometimes we do these relaxation exercises and people say you can lie down on the bed and you can relax and do your nidra and all that. So is
Yeah.
that okay to do on the bed then?
It should be done on your yoga mat, not on the bed. I mean, on your asan. So, asan plays a very important role in everyone's life. It is not recommended to do your pranayam, yoga, or meditation uh, if you're on just on uh, naked floor. You have to have a asan. Asan means a piece of cloth. So that asan is there so that the earthing stops, because you are generating energy from yoga and meditation. And if there is no earthing in between, you are actually transferring all your energy, because the earth will suck away all the energy. That's why you will see all the sages and yogis not sitting on the just like on the floor, but using a asan particularly. So the relaxation also should be done on a yoga mat or on a separate bed sheet on the floor, but I would still not suggest on the bed. Bed is for sleeping.
You know,
And yeah, please tell me.
in UK we have carpets in our rooms, so that should be all right, lying on a carpet.
Yeah, that is all right. Absolutely all right. That's not a problem. But ask when you do I mean, spiritual practices on one particular sheet. It can be of a woolen, it can be a woolen sheet or a silk. In older days, they were having this animal skin, which is not recommended in today's world, but they were having a particular sheet for practices, because by the time, I mean, after few years, you are transferring most of the energy on that asana. So your asana is a temple now. And that asana becomes so important that as you, even after few years, you will not even feel like meditating. You will just sit on your asana and you will be in a meditative space, because you have transferred most of your practices, the energies in your asana. So I would recommend again to have a separate asana for all these practices, whether it is for meditation also.
And the direction where your head faces, your face, the
Can
north,
be
north
north or northeast.
or east is okay or not?
East is also fine. So east, north, or northeast. These three are the best.
Thank you.
There was this one text I was reading on. It was on Dakshina Murti, and the Dakshina Murti is known as also the guru of all the gurus. And he's said Dakshina is because he's facing the south. He's facing the south. That means he is somewhere in the north and he's looking down. So it is believed that Dakshina Murti, who is guru of all, is sitting in the northern area of Himalayas and facing the south, which means facing the whole community, because we all are living south from Himalayan regions, the people who are living in India. So that's why if he is facing south, we are facing him for more blessings. So if that's why north or northeast is most preferable. Again, east is also good, but from the three, I would suggest north or northeast first, and then east. Speaking from our own son, we are blessed to have knowledge. Thank you. Sadguru comes from Agastya Manani. I'm not sure. Mr. J. Patel is asking, Sadguru comes from Agastya Manani. What does that mean? I'm not clear about that question.
Hello, yeah, no, it's a statement. Agastya Mani is one of the Saptarishis from
Agastya
Shiva.
Mani. Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Sure.
So
Yes.
I'm saying that lineage of the Sadguru comes from the Agastya Mani.
So Sadguru, you're talking about the Sadguru of Isha Yoga, or
Yes.
Yeah, Sadguru Jagi Vasudev.
Jaggi Vasudev? Okay. So I'm actually not sure about Sadhguru's lineage, but thank you for that information.
So Satguru teaches a program, called inner engineering, and there they do these practices. So is that Kriya Yoga to do with breathing exercises and the bandhas and everything?
He's as far as I'm aware, he's giving the knowledge of Hatha Yoga, not the Kriya Yoga.
He is a Kriya Yoga himself, but you must be seeing the Hatha Yoga school that they also offer. But the first practice that he offers is a Kriya Yoga practice. But he himself is a Kriya Yogi, and he offers Kriya Yoga as well as Hatha Yoga practices.
Oh, okay. So that's good. So the inner engineering program, where he gives the diksha and everything, that must be the Kriya Yoga then, because you do the relaxation and all this, and then he has a certain sequence of things that you do. You mentioned about a sequence. He has got a sequence that you do. So that must be Kriya Yoga.
Yes, correct.
Correct. That sequence is Kriya Yoga. So, if anyone has done, that courses with Sadhguru, if you're talking about Sadhguru here, you must be knowing what I mean here by following that sequence. So that sequence is very important.
Well, that is true of all the other masters. And we've got Shiv Yoga as well. Baba Avdut Shivananda Ji, he offers a training where there's a sequence, with the breathing practices and everything. So that must be Kriya Yoga again. And that comes from a master, who is enlightened.
Correct. So this was my talking about my journey. I also had the option of, opting all these school of knowledges and going there and doing a particular course. But I am a very analytical person, and I question a lot of things before going to some places. So in my mind was not allowing me to go to a place where it is distributed to a mass. A community, because I read that it is a very secretive knowledge and it has to be kept secret and only given to someone who is, capable of that knowledge also. And first of all, we have to see that what is his goal, why he wants to learn the Kriya Yoga, and only then the master gives him the Kriya Yoga. So I felt that I should learn from someone who is keeping it secret, like how it is written in the Vedas and Shastras. So that's why I started exploring the Himalayan region. And when you want something truly, you start attracting all those things. So step by step, I started attracting people who actually I was looking for. And finally, I got a person who was actually practicing Kriya Yoga from past 24 years in a cave. And he lives in an area beyond Gangotri. So I lived near to him, not with, because he was not allowing. And his lineage was coming from Saraswati Sampradaya, which roots back to Shankaracharya. So Saraswati's Sampradaya is from Shankaracharya. So the Kriya Yoga is a part of Tantra Yoga. So Tantra, you must have heard about Tantra, which is a combination of practices and knowledge merged together, which takes you to the inner journey. So that's why I restrained myself from joining a larger group, because I'm not criticizing anyone. They may be also teaching the very right way. But personally, my mind was not allowing me to do sadhana, because I wanted to do sadhana in a place where I have less disturbance. So I chose that path of living in an absolute solitude for some time, because from my experience, I can tell, even my guru says that even if you are a householder, you should spend at least 10 days in solitude. You can make solitude at your home also. Like you can choose to be at your room for 10 days and not talk to some people, people around you, and just be at your home only. That is also solitude. But you should spend time with yourself. That is solitude. And for me, it was my desire to spend absolute solitude in a Himalayan region. That's why I chose to live there and do my Kriya sadhana over there.
It's fascinating. Vaibhavji, have you been on any as a guest on any podcast to talk about some of your experiences? I run a podcast, and I just wondered if that was something you may be interested in the future, possibly.
Oh, thank you so much. Can you tell me your name, please, and how to address you?
Jay Patel only.
Okay, Patel ji, thank you so much for that offer. I have
Obviously,
never,
sometimes you don't want to reveal certain things, but whatever you may want to.
sure, whatever like I can, I would love to share the experiences. And because uh, the sage, the Swami, who gave me this knowledge, told me and gave me the permission actually to pass on this beautiful knowledge to someone who is a true seeker. So being secretive of something doesn't means that hide it from the universe or hide it from someone who is even potential of. You have to choose to, the person who truly wants it, and you should give it to them. So I would love to share whatever I can share with you, which can be shared in a public. And the Kriyas, I will talk to Neha ji, and we are still discussing on that how we can, build up a session on just on Kriya Yoga and passing the knowledge which I have. But before that, if someone wants to step into the world of Kriya Yoga, as I told that the physical fitness is very important. So the Kriya Yoga is divided into initial stages where you just first master asanas and pranayams and then move into the Kriyas. So Patelji, I would thank you for giving that offer, and yes, we can connect on that.
Yeah, well, I thought it would be also useful for you to share your experiences on this platform for all of us. I don't know what Patelji's podcast is or anything, I wouldn't miss it if you were on there, but this platform would be good as well.
Oh yeah, I mean, maybe we could
connect all. Yes, I will connect with Jay Patel, Vaibhav and everybody. So I shared my number. Let me stop recording here. Thank you very much, Vaibhav for such an insightful session. I'm sure